for the recording link, whereas we've shared it on the important announcement. So I feel like if you usually check the channels, especially the important announcements, if you see something new there, you should be able to know, okay, something important has been dropped there. Okay, so this is just me trying to notify everybody right now. Okay, in case you're not aware, we have several channels on the Telegram. Okay, so there are few channels that is not open to the public. And please, I want to encourage you to ensure that you check those channels. Okay, the recording and relevant links, important channel, and yeah, so those three channels are very important. If you see any notification there, please always check. Okay. Like for example, somebody, I think the last time I was there, I've not been on Telegram since yesterday because of work. So the last time I was there, somebody was asking for the code for the code we used for the Chief Abiola's application, right? And we had already posted the link on the relevant link. In fact, we even dropped the post on important announcement to buttress it, but I believe the person did not see it or did not check. You understand? So this is me saying, if you're watching this video and you're not aware, please, anytime you come, you're not frequent on or you're not always active on Telegram, always check the important announcement channel, the relevant links. There are three channels there that are very important. If you don't see what you're looking for, then always use the daily report or the general to ask your questions. All right. Then you can always tag Miss Vivian, or you can also tag me or Mr. Abiola, and you will get response, even though we are not always active there. But Miss Vivian is always active and she'll be able to give you the prompt response that you deserve. All right. So, having said that, the second thing I want to draw our attention is I want to apologize that sometimes the session stays exceeds the 8:30 to 10:30 to 10:30, right? 8:30 to 10:30. Now the reason is simply because as much as this is a beginner session, right? We want to make sure that we give you all enough that you can confidently say, okay, I think I understand the cloud a little bit. If I don't do this and maybe I just we just maybe fix on 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes, if I go straight to the point, um just gloss over some things, you might not get the real thing. Okay, you may think you know it because you believe in us, right? Or you think we've given you all there is. Okay, no, so there's so many things we need to cover, and trust me, the 2 hours is just so that we can manage, or 2 hours 30 minutes, or even 3 hours if we shoot that point, is just so that we can make sure we cover as much as possible, whereas there's still much more to learn. You understand? So this is me trying to encourage every one of you. By the end of the program, or before the end of the program, we'll give you more resources, because I realize from the feedbacks we got from you all, some persons said they are not comfortable. They will also prefer complementary documentations or resources. Not everybody is a visual video person. Some people prefer text to read documentations and the rest of them. So that's not a problem. So if you can see my screen, you will notice that I have some documentations here that I have prepared. Okay, I got some of them from AI, filtered them, and so on, and just to help buttress some of the things that I would be saying. So some of you that prefer to read it, you need to read it and understand it better. Okay, okay. So I realize that if I have to leave everything to my explanation, some of you might still not get it, right? Or it's not be sufficient rather. So I will be accompanying with a lot of resources to add to the sessions we will be having. So expect many more resources, and we maybe at the later on we can even share some videos, point you to some YouTube links and the rest, that or videos or Udemy courses that you can access if you really want to dive deeper and learn more on a specific feature or a service. Okay, so that's the second thing I wanted to say. Then the last one I needed to say was I don't know if I want to believe that everybody has resolve the AWS access, or fortunately, we still get a lot of complaints from people that still have AWS complaints. Now, I realize also that not everybody is active because some people are working, and secondly, some people are students, and some people cannot make up with the schedule. They are all usually free during the weekend, so they make most of the the video recordings, right? So, having said this, please, if you're watching this video and you think the reason why you're not making progress is because of your AWS account, please reach out to Miss Vivian, okay? And explain your reason to her, and she will understand and will know how to help you, okay? Then, secondly, the video recording. Some people complain that the video recording is either too heavy or is lagging, okay, or it's blurred. Now, these three things, let me address it. The best quality that Teams gives us is on 1080p. That's the in pixel. It's a very high HD quality. All right. So this sessions is usually recorded in a high definition quality. Okay, that's HD. Now, if we share the link to you, all right, and you open it on your browser and you're watching it, there's usually some lags, okay? Maybe in the beginning of trying to buffer, it's called buffering, okay? It's trying to buffer, and after some time, it picks up and you can watch it, okay? But if it may not necessarily be your network, okay? It happens to me, it happens to many persons, okay? But if that makes you uncomfortable and you're not happy with the lagging, it makes you not enjoy the pace, you can always download it. Okay, if you look at the top, there's always a download button. Okay, there's always a download button, and I'll prove that to you as you all can still see my what is it called? You can see my screen. So I will show you something. So if I come here, go to charts, and I click on, let's say, the sessions I've had. Okay, today I had a cloud security session. So I'll copy this link, and this is the link, right? I'll copy this and paste it here. Now, when I drop this link here, it's going to load, right? And my job is to, okay, I do not have permission to view it here, so I will have to use another platform. Okay, good. Let me just open this and paste it here. So let's see. Okay. Okay, good. So this is how some of you usually view it, right? And I told you it lags. This is not, it buffers rather. This is not because of your internet sometimes, okay? Sometimes it's not your internet. It's literally how the team app works, okay? It buffers a little bit. It's like saying it needs to load the data, okay? Pull the data from wherever it's being stored and then serve you its content. All right. Now, so if you watch here, you're supposed to see something. Let's say if you click here, you can see download. All right. So please, if you're not aware, please click on this download and download it. This size is smaller than when I upload it on Google Drive. If I have to upload it on Google Drive sometimes, the file size increases. Okay. Or if I have to edit it myself, it will become blurred. This is the best quality you will always get. Okay. Now, these responses are based on the feedbacks we got from people. Okay. Either the video quality is very low or maybe it's blurred or so. Okay. Trust me, this is HD. Okay. So it's very, very, very clear, except maybe it's an internet issue from your end or so. Okay. I think those are the three things I said I was going to address on the session. And then please, I wanted to ask feedbacks from you all. Um let's can I get your feedbacks on the comment section based on the last class we had? Do we understand what's it like? So is everybody on the same page with me from based on what we covered in the last class? Based on what we covered in the last class, you all understood about AWS S3. You know how to create a bucket. Or did you do my assignments? Just type yes. That's what I want to know. Did you attempt the exercise? It's an exercise, not an assignment. Did you attempt the exercise? Please type yes on the comment section, just to know how many persons. I'm so sorry. I think somebody's trying to ask questions, but for now, I don't want to. I want us to start the session and not so bear with me. I may not take questions now, just so that we can really maximize time. Okay. Please bear with me. Okay. I think the person should be, let's say, Okay, Purple Blessing, please just bear with me, all right? You'll be one of the persons that will ask questions when the time comes. Okay, so good, good. At least I can see 4 persons or maybe 5 persons who attempted it. Good. All right. So is there anybody here that did not attempt it because they did not understand? Okay, Daniela said I couldn't get the HTML code. You see, that's what I just addressed. So please, Daniela, if you just listen to what I said, you should check. And I want to believe everybody has access to the Google Drive. There's a Google Drive for this program. Okay, please, if you don't know where it is, go to Telegram and check the resource channel or the relevant links channel. You will see a Google Drive, or Miss Vivian is going to drop it. Okay, the Google Drive will always, you will check the resources and you will see sample code app. I think code samples, it's always there. Okay, so please, I want to encourage everybody to check. Okay, the code is always there. So that we can start immediately and address the questions later. Let me see if there's anything. Yes, I attempted it. Okay. Um, okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. No, the code was no, the code from Bootstrap. Oh, the code from Bootstrap. I think everybody can get it there. You can always download it. That's why I gave you the URL. Okay. Yes, I attended it. Okay, good. All right, I did my URL. Okay, good. So thank you so much, everybody, for your feedbacks. And I think it's a good time to start this session so that we don't keep stalling and keep people waiting. So um, let's open this. Good. So for anybody still asking about the Start Bootstrap, this is it. Okay. If you watch the video, you should be able to see this. Okay. So I'll encourage you to check this. Just copy it and paste it on your own browser. Okay. Or you just remove this. Remove this. Okay. Please remove this. Hit enter. It takes you to the website. Okay. And you can scroll and choose the one you want. Okay. So this is simple enough. Okay. So I didn't think I need to copy the code and share. I just told you all to choose the one you prefer. Okay. If you want to choose the blog, fine. If you want to choose the, what is it called? If you watch this, so this is the resume, this is the portfolio, this is the business website, this is a landing page. You choose, this is the blog, right? So I left you all to choose based on what you want, and then so that I can see different designs. Okay. All right. In the last class, we learned about AWS S3. AWS S3. I tried my best to give us a gentle introduction to AWS S3, how S3 came about, and the problem AWS S3 is solving, right? And why AWS S3 is one of the proficient storage service we have. Now, while I did not touch some things, there are a lot of things I did not touch. This is simply because I wanted to give us the high level and not overwhelm us with the whole technical details. Like somebody sent me a message and the person asked me, is AWS what kind of storage is AWS S3? Right? Now that was the reason why I have this documentation. Okay, this one here in terms of data storages. Okay, the file storage, block storage, and object storage. Okay, AWS S3 is actually a object storage, not block, neither is it file storage. Now, if you want to know the difference, you can read this thing. I'm going to share the links, okay? So you can read it and understand different types, okay? So you understand how it works. This is what I mean when I say AWS is an object storage. So when you read this, you will understand. So the person who had asked that question, that's the response for you. Okay. So AWS is an object storage. You will know the differences. You know what a block storage is when you read those resources. Having said that, in the last class, we learned how to utilize the AWS S3 service. We learned what a bucket is using different kinds of analogy here. Okay. Sadly, this picture is not loading for some reason. So that's why it's like this. So, but I'm sure you all understand the analogy. We learned how to create buckets. So there are so many features of the AWS S3 apart from this 5 here. Okay. So one thing I will encourage you all is to get used to the documentation. Okay, so let's come here and let's open this AWS S3. So while this is AWS S3, I want to encourage you to make use of the documentation because we cannot cover everything exhaustively. All right. So how do you access the documentation? Okay, you may not know what a documentation if you're just watching this video as someone new into tech and you should know what documentation is, but perhaps it's confusing you. Just know that it's a technical manual, okay, a manual, a guide that helps you, that the providers, okay, the platform owners, they documented the steps that can guide you on how to use this service efficiently and effectively. Okay. So actually, most of the things I learned is from the documentation and the quick way to do it. If you watch here, just click here, you're going to see something. Okay. Now, but this is actually Amazon Q. So you can ask this AI questions. If you want to know more about AWS, you can ask it questions. But actually, that is not what I want. So let me see. Um, for some reason. So let's see. All right, so for some reason, the documentation used to be here, but you can always check here. This is user guide. If you watch here, this is resources, user guide. You should be able to see more about AWS S3. If I click on this right now, it's going to open the documentation and you can read more about AWS S3 service. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so if you want it in a PDF, for some of you that want books and you want to read a lot, this is a PDF. You can click on it and it's going to give you a PDF on AWS S3. Do you understand? So if you click on this, you're going to see a PDF that you can download and read more. The same thing for AWS IAM service that we've used before. Just come here and type IAM and you can select the documentation for IAM and you can convert it to PDF as well. Okay. So I felt I need to address this because of the feedbacks I got from you all based on the last session we got. Okay, now let's make good progress. We've been able to create buckets and we've learned how to create buckets. We moved on to learn how static website hosting works, and I gave you a task on it, and I'm sure everybody understood it. Today, we will be focusing on bucket versioning. Bucket versioning. It's a very important feature of AWS S3. Let's get started. I will select this. Okay. Now, the first thing I will want to do is to create a bucket. Okay. So when I click on create bucket, now the same thing we did in the last class, you always have to check the region because that's what reflects here. You can change the region. I'll leave it a general purpose. I'll give it a sample name. So I will just call this test. I'll call it my version bucket. Yeah, I call it my version bucket 2024. Okay, let me leave it like this. I'm sure nobody may have used this. So I'm sure you all know this is understandable, right? So any settings you have here is on a particular bucket. So if I want to choose a setting on a particular bucket and apply it to this existing bucket, this is what you do. Okay, it's self-explanatory. Okay. Now, although I saw somebody on the comment section that said the reason he didn't do the task is because it doesn't understand. Now, please, I did not ignore your message, okay? It just came to my mind right now. Please, I want you to raise up your hand when the time comes so that you can tell me where you had struggles or challenges, all right? Okay. So, I told you all to always choose this, right? Especially if you want it to be publicly accessible. I repeat, publicly accessible. Okay? If you don't want it to be publicly accessible, you don't choose this. Okay? Good. It's just like creating a Google Drive and you want the drive to be publicly accessible to anybody. Okay? Please take note of this. All right. So if I choose this, it's still going to be fine. For now, I'll just leave it the way it is because I'm not creating a public one. So this same one too, I'll leave it the way it is. Okay, now this is where I want you all to pay rapt attention. What is versioning? Versioning simply means it's defined here, okay? Keeping multiple variants of an object in the same bucket. Very simple. So it's another word for multiple copies. Multiple copies. Okay. Imagine when you create when you get a certificate or when you create a receipt, okay? Or let's say your school certificate, right? Your school certificate, you always want to have multiple copies, okay? In hard copy, in soft copy, that's digital copy. Or sometimes some of you even photocopy it and print it out and keep it so many places just so that you can always make reference to it at a later time. So versioning helps us to create multiple copies of our files. Now, what does this mean? It means that anytime you enable this, if you enable versioning, right, and you create a bucket, AWS is going to, any copy, any object you create inside the bucket, AWS is going to create copies and store it for you. Okay? AWS is going to create multiple copies of that same one and store it somewhere for you. Okay? So, and this is very simple to read and understand, but let's build upon it so that we don't waste time. So I'll click on enable, all right, just to enable this, right? So I'll scroll down. That's the only thing I want to do. Okay. So I'll click on create bucket. Okay. You see, our name is not friendly. Okay. Okay. It doesn't like uppercase. So let's use small letter case. I remember. Okay. It already exists. Sorry. My bad. 2024. Okay. You see, come down and do what? Create bucket. Good. So you see, I have created a bucket called my version bucket, which is this. Friends, if you're watching this video, don't be distracted with all the videos here. So because of so many persons, if you're seeing your bucket here, it's because I created an IAM account for you. All right. And that's why your bucket is reflecting here. All right. Okay. So take note of that. So, oh, now you may ask a question. Does that mean I have access to your bucket? Anyway, you can actually apply some policies to it. That's that access ACL I was talking about. If you put the ACL, it can determine who can have access to it. Okay, so it's possible that if I click on it, it will tell me access denied. You understand? All right. So this is the bucket I created right now. And if you click on this bucket, you will notice something. The object says 0. Okay, object says 0. Now, but there's something I want you all to see here. Okay, show versions. Okay, so this does not usually this does not appear. Okay, if you do not enable versioning, you won't see this. Okay, so I can toggle it on and toggle it off, toggle it off and toggle it on. I hope that makes sense. Now, so this will make more sense to you. Let's do some practicals. I will create a file here, or I can click here and do some things, but I don't want to create a folder right now. I just want to upload a file. So I'll click on upload and click on add files. And let's see if we come to Fred train and let's go to cloud engineering and let's go to this and okay, good. So let's say this is employees.txt. I select this file. Okay, this is a file on my computer. You can choose any for your example. I'll click on open. Now you will notice that I will just click on this upload, right? Now some of you may be wondering, I'm supposed to click here and say grant public access. Now, because somebody asked me that question, so I want you to all get this right now. This grant public access is for any other person. But for me, the person creating it, okay, I can still have access. I can still see the file. Okay, I don't need to grant myself public access. Okay, outside this environment. I'll show you what I mean. So I'll click on upload without doing anything. So you notice something, I have uploaded this file. Now I'll just click on close. Okay, so this is the file we just uploaded. Is that true? Now, if I click on this file, or if I just select this and click on open, you notice something. Now, you're not seeing any error and you're not seeing anything inside the file. Is that true? Good. Now, but that's because the file is empty. Okay, so watch what's going to happen. I will go to my computer system and try to go to that location, day 4. This is the file. Okay, so I'm going to right click this file and open it with, I'm going to open that file. Let's open it with Visual Studio Code so you can see when I do something. So this is the file. Okay, take note of what I'm going to do right now. Um, I'm going to type something. Now, if I type employees, let's say we have Vivian, one of the employee. Okay, I'm going to press Ctrl S to save this file. Okay, now if you come here, let's say we want to upload another file. Okay, we want to upload another file. But before I upload another file, please, I want to encourage you, click on this and see something. So if you click here, what did you see? Did you notice that this file has an ID? Did you see that? Because we enabled version. So this file has an ID. Good. Take note of what's happening. So I'll toggle it off so you don't see that. So I'll click on upload and let's add files. So this is the same employee file. You know, it's the same file that we had there before, right? But the difference is that we added something into this file right now. So I'll select the same file and click on open. Did you see that? Scroll down and click what? Upload. Then I'll click what? Close. So friends, how many files did you see here? 1. So the question is, where is it supposed to be 1 or 2? Let me get your feedbacks in the comment section. Is this supposed to be 1 or 2? Just type 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Let me know from the comment section. 1 or 2. Somebody said 2. Any other person? Just let me know. Is this supposed to be 1 or 2? Somebody said 2. Okay. Somebody said 1. 2. Okay, good. Now, thank you so much, friends. Now, let's watch the screen so you can understand what's happening. So, if you notice, the file name did not change. The file name did not change. So, the question is this: which version is this? Is this file that, okay, let me click on refresh in case somebody say click refresh. Let's see. I'll click on refresh. Did you notice it's still the same file? So, the question is this: one way you can always know is to check the time. Okay? Is to check the time. So this is like 30 seconds ago compared to the time we have here. Okay, so this is like telling me this is the recent one. The recent one. Let's prove that. Remember that the first one, we didn't see anything, right? Let's come here. Let's select this and click what? Open. So did you see Vivian inside? So which means that this is the recent one. This is the first one of the same file. This is this recent updated one of the same file. So that is what the concept of versioning. So we have 2 versions of the same document. 2 what? Versions of the same what? Document. So we are seeing the same file. So S3 has a feature that helps us to preserve the versions. Okay? Any modification that happens to a file, we can retain it and have multiple copies or versions or variants. I hope you get it. Now, so how do we see the previous one? Toggle this. So show versions. Once you toggle this right now, did you notice what we have? Can you see? So this is the first one. This is the current one. So anyone you see on top, okay, the one you see on top is always the current version. I'll take it again. The one you see on top is always the current version. Okay, you can always see it from the time. Okay, now I wouldn't say from the size because even though it was empty, that's why it's 0. We added something is 6 MB. Please, I hope you get it. So this is the latest one. This is the older one. Okay, so if I toggle this off, you'll only be seeing the recent one. Okay, let's update the copy again. Let's say we want to upload again. So I'll click on this, add files. And so I don't want to select this yet without adding anything. So let's go to our VS Code and add something. So apart from Vivian, let's add another person. Let's say Abola. Okay. I'm going to save this. You see that? Now add files, pick employees, open, scroll down, upload. Good job. Close this. Did you notice? It's still the same file. The file has not changed, the same file name. All I need to do, reload this. It's still there, the same file name. So the question is this the most recent one or the first one? The size has changed. The timing has changed, last modified. So how do we know? Click on this and click on open. Did you see? Did you see it? Vivian and Abola. Somebody says these names are in Spanish. All right, so yeah, I don't know why that's happening, but I'm sure you all understand it, right? So this is the same file, but this file has three variants, or it has been updated 3 times. So if you want to see 3 variants, click on this. I hope this makes sense. So if you say you want to move back to the previous version, okay? So let's say for some reason, as a staff of a company, your boss did not ask you to add anything. And Chief Abiola was like, I hope you did not add any names to those files. Instead of saying, oh, I already did. It's very simple. This is the state where it was. Is it not true? So this is the state where it was. Are we correct? So now, what you need to do is very simple. If you come here, select this one. This is the current one, the current copy. Is it not true? So if I delete this current copy right now, this one will become the current copy. If I delete this one, this will become the current copy. I hope that makes sense. So let's take it one step at a time. So I'll delete this particular one. So I'll click on delete. So watch what it's saying so you can understand. Okay. So I'll just scroll down here and type this. Okay. Permanently delete. I hope I'm not too fast for you all. Permanently delete. I'll paste it here. Okay. You can type it yourself or you can copy it and paste it. Then click on delete objects. Okay. So when I click on this, it's deleted it. Okay. Now I'll click on Word, close. Now, friends, let's toggle this back. You see what we have here? Select this and click on open. Let's see. It should be one name we have there, and that's correct, Vivian. So that is the current document that we have. I hope this is making sense. If you understood this explanation, please type yes on the comment section. You understand versioning, type yes on the comment section. Yeah. So somebody asked a question, if you don't turn on versioning, it will not be able to retain these capabilities. The answer is yes. Without versioning turned on, when you were creating the bucket, you will not have this capability. Although, even if you've already created the bucket, right, you can still always go and enable it. I'll show you how that works. So somebody also asked, is it the same way as Git? The answer is yes. Okay, so for those of you saying no, don't worry. I'll try and do a recap again so that we can get it, and then we'll move to the next thing. Okay. So the truth is this. Now, that's a beautiful question. Somebody asked, when is the best time turning it on? Now, it depends on your use case. It depends on your use case. Now, I want you to understand that when you turn on versioning, it's going to create multiple copies. Okay. Now, even though we've not said anything about pricing yet, because it all seems like S3 is free. Yes, but there are different ways AWS pricing comes. It has to do with data retrieval, how you retrieve the data, the volume of the data you are uploading, and then a lot of, I outlined 3 here. Let me put this. Okay, no, this is not the DevOps. So this is what I'm talking about. Data retrieval rate, the pricing, data retrieval rate, how fast or do you want to retrieve your data? Is it immediately or after a particular period of time you want to retrieve it? The amount of data you are storing, and then the data upload and the data download count. For instance, every time we are opening this file, do you know that every time we open this file, we are actually downloading it? Do you understand? So the number of times you do it, all these three factors determine the price that AWS is going to charge you. So I want you to understand that if you now start having variant copies of a file, it's also going to increase your charges. You understand? Now, don't worry about the price because it's still very low. We are going to talk about all those things. Okay. So, you will understand your use case. Okay. You understand your use case, understand the need for it. For instance, governments during elections, right? Or they can have important files they want to always use and store data. Chief Abiola, the company that we are using for this cloud demonstration, have important files he wants to always store in the cloud, regardless of, you understand? And he doesn't want to lose this file, you understand, and track every changes happening to that document. He's okay with bearing the costs for regardless of the variations. Okay. So please, you will determine, you will understand the use case. Once you understand why, then you can always create enable versioning. I hope this makes sense. Okay, I hope this makes sense for everybody. Okay, now, so let's while I want to show us another thing. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do right now. This is the file we have here. So that we don't get confused with this file, okay, I'm going to upload another file. So this is another way of me showing you how it works. Okay, so I'm going to upload a separate file. Okay, so I'll click on upload, add files. Now, instead of employees, I'm going to upload IT security credentials and click on open. All right. I'll scroll down and click word upload. Now, I'll click on close. Now, this file I have here, okay? This is a simple file I have here right now. Now, if for any reason mistakenly, right? One of the benefits why we enable versioning, one of the importance is not just to have multiple copies. Okay, it's not just maybe to switch from one version to another. If from you make an accidental deletion, you delete a file, for instance, mistakenly this is IT credential, passwords and the rest are being stored here. Okay, now if you mistakenly select this file, you don't know when you deleted it. Okay, so if I click on this and scroll down and type delete and click on delete objects, you will notice something. So I'll click on close. Did you notice that file is not here? It's gone. So you could feel very horrible and feel very sad because an important file has been deleted. But one of the benefits of versioning is if you click on this, once you toggle this, right? Did you notice this? IT security credentials. Now, I want you to pay rapt attention. I want you to pay rapt attention. So, anytime you delete a file, anytime a file is deleted, S3 is going to change the type and use what we call delete marker on it. It will put it will change the type of that document and call it what? Delete marker. Do you understand? So this is the file that was deleted right now. So this marker appear here is what shows you that this file has been. So if you want to restore it, it's very possible. So you can always, of course, you can delete, you can select this, right? Like this. There are different actions you can do to this. Okay. But right now we don't want to, based on this file is empty. Now I can delete this and it will delete the marker. Or if I delete this marker right now, if I click on this, watch what's going to happen. Um, Now it's telling me to type this permanently delete. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it here and type delete objects. Okay. click on close. Now, if you do here, what did you see? Did you notice the file is back? Do you understand what happened? So immediately you remove that delete marker on that file, it will restore it. That's what I'm saying. I hope it makes sense. So this is the file. Once you mistakenly delete the file, now originally as the cloud engineer, you are the one that know the secret. You understand how the application works. So if somebody mistakenly deletes this file for any reason, okay, what AWS S3 does is behind the scene, okay, it's going to put a delete marker on that file that was deleted. Okay, so if you want to restore that particular file that was deleted, all you need to do is to delete that one that has a delete marker type on it. Please, I hope this makes sense to everybody. So this is how it works. Okay, so if for any reason I want to now delete the files completely, for instance, if you watch here, can you see these are two files, right? And I want to delete this file. So even if I delete these two files, okay, I'll take it slowly. These are two files I uploaded. If I delete these two files, they are not gone completely. Why? Because versioning is tracking it. Any changes that happens to that file is being tracked. Okay? So I can always recover it by switching to this versioning. Okay? And delete those ones with the marker type. Okay? Now, but what if you want to completely delete it, even though it has the versioning? All you need to do is to turn on this versioning. Okay? Then select everything here. Okay? Select everything here and say delete. You see that? So it's going to tell you the consequences of what you're doing. Once you're sure you understand what's going on, you can come here and paste your permanently delete, and then you delete this. So if you do close, now if you watch here, can you see there is no object? So either you toggle on and off, you won't see anything here. Please tell me you understand versioning. Do we understand it? So is this video lagging for everybody? So sorry. Is this still lagging? Is it still lagging? Please confirm. I apologize. It's not deliberate. So sorry, please. I guess it's a network issue. So sorry, friends. Okay, so that's how versioning works. Okay, so I'm still going to put a step-by-step material on that will guide you on how this works. Okay, in case maybe for any reason the video you miss it on the video. Okay, so there will still be a simple step-by-step that will guide you through. Okay, is it still lagging? Please, if it's still lagging, I'll have to disconnect and rejoin again. Please confirm. Is this still lagging? Yes or no? Just to be sure. Okay, still lagging. All right, so friends, bear with me. So invariably, I'll have to step out and come back in. All right, so All right, friends, can you all hear me audibly? I'm also sharing my screen. Please confirm. Can you hear me? Can you see the screen? Can you hear me? Good. Thank you so much, friends. Okay, so I think it's good to continue right now. Okay, so we've been able to learn how AWS S3 bucket versioning works. All you have to do is just to create a bucket and enable versioning. That's all. Once you enable versioning, that's all. This will be here. If you don't enable versioning, you won't see this. Okay? And that's it. So if you want to see a version, just toggle this. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So that's how versioning works. Okay, so let's continue so that we can save time. If you have any other question, please put it for me. At the end of the session, I'll address it so that we can maximize time. So the next thing we want to cover is called bucket replication. Bucket replication. What does bucket replication means? Just like the name sounds, to replicate something, okay? Another word for duplicate, all right? Now, somebody asked a very important question when we started the program, and it has to do with disaster recovery. The person asked a question, what if the server where AWS S3, where AWS stores this data crashes? What happens? Okay. And I answered the person that AWS has a lot of data centers across the world in different AZs, availability zones. Okay. So, and in different regions. Okay. So, and I want you to understand that whenever you create a bucket, AWS by default is always going to create copies of that bucket. Okay, so there are rules of replication. Okay, I'm going to just so that we can save time and just go hands on so you can understand it practically. I think the best way to understand this feature of AWS S3 is by practice. So how does AWS bucket replication works? That's what we want to do. So I'll click here. So I'm going to create another bucket. So this error is as a result of the previous thing that happened. So I'm going to create another bucket. So I'll click on this and I'll click on create bucket. Okay. Now, so I'm going to select this and I'm going to say my replication. Now, first of all, the way replication works is this. Um, replica, to create a replica of something. Now, there's a concept of what we call source and destination. Okay, source and destination. Sometimes you want to have a replica of a particular thing, maybe a cup or water. Sometimes you have water in your kitchen, you have water in your living room, you have water in your bedroom. This is because you want to always have water around you to drink. Okay, so in this context, assume that you want to create a bucket. Okay, so if you use replica, it means anytime you create a bucket, you want it to replicate it somewhere else. It should create a copy of it somewhere else. Okay, so there's a concept of source and destination. I'll take it again. Concept of what? Source and what? Destination. Let's do it practically so you can understand. Let me just show you this. So if let's put this and let's put this. Okay, so remember what we are learning is S3 bucket replication. Okay, and there are two types actually. Okay, so we have what we call same region replication in the same region, which is also called what? SRR. I'm going to increase the font in a short while. And then we have what we call cross region replication, which is called what? CRR. So that's is what I'm talking about. Okay. So we are talking about S3 bucket replication. Okay. So there are two types: same region replication, cross region replication. So what do I mean? What do I mean? Let's assume that this is a particular region. Okay. So let's assume that this is North region. Okay. The North region. Okay. This is a North region. Okay. Or a geographical location. Okay. Now let's assume, we're going to bring this down. So I'll just drag this here. And just so that it can match what we have here. So bring this out, and so this is going to be what? This is going to be, let's say, South region, or let's use East region. Okay. East region. So if you understand how AWS works, if you click here, right, where you select different regions, I told you the concept of region has to do with your locality, where you are located. Okay. So the closer you are to a region, the faster you can retrieve the information in that region. Okay. So for some reason this is lagging. I hope it's not the same. Let me be sure that you all are not, it's not lagging. Okay. Okay, let's be sure. Yes, it's the recording is still up. Okay, the recording is still up. Yes. I'm sure I'm still sharing my screen. Please, if you have any difficulty for not seeing it, please disconnect and reconnect back again. Okay, please. So we have different region. US East 1, US East 2, different region. Okay, so you just decide which of the region you want to store your buckets. Okay, so let's assume that we have US East and we have US West. Okay, so which is US East 1 and US West 1 or US West 2. You just decide the region where you always want to keep it. If you are in London and the rest, so we have different regions. So there's Europe London, which is EU West 2. So there's A, B, and C. Okay, but it's not here until there's a way you can always check it anyway. All right. So, but just know that this is what we call regions. So I'll come here. So just so that we can be consistent, I'll call this US East 1. Okay. So just so that you all can still get the picture, East 2. Okay. So this is US East 1, this is US East 2. Two different regions. Now, when you want to create a bucket, let's assume that when you created the bucket, right, you created the bucket in US East 1. Okay. Now, if you are using what we call bucket replication, okay, bucket replication, there's a concept of what? Source and destination. Please don't forget it. Okay. So if you want to use the same region replication, it means in this region, right, you can have one bucket here. Okay. Let's assume this is bucket 1 and this is bucket 2. Okay. I hope this makes sense. So this is bucket 1. Let's increase the size. Sorry, let's increase this and pick this. I'm trying to increase the size of this one. Let's see. Okay, good. So let's select here and type 2. Okay. So friends, this is two buckets we have here. Okay, I know I can always use bucket symbol, but I'm sure you all understand. Okay, so this is a bucket, this is a bucket. So in this region, there are two buckets. Practically, if you come to my AWS, if you click on buckets, you will see that I have so many buckets in the US East 1 region. So all these are the buckets I created in this region. Can you see there's another region? There's another bucket in another region. Did you see that? Somebody created a bucket in a different region. Okay, this is how to know it. Okay, so if you come here, so let's say in a region, you can have many buckets. So in this analogy, if we want to use same region replication, SRR, you are going to take bucket 1 to be the source, okay? And bucket 2 to be the destination, okay? So let's come here and type source, okay? Destination. So let's, pardon me, let's enlarge this. Okay, good. Okay, good. So this is source, this is destination. So if you are using the same region replication, it means that anytime you upload something inside this bucket, if you use if you turn on replication and you're using same region replication, in this same region, anything you put in this source, automatically it will create a duplicate. It will create something. It will create a copy of that thing inside this region. I hope we understand. So this is the source where the original one was created, but it will create a copy inside this destination. That's what we call replication. Please, I hope you understand. So if you put anything inside here, automatically it will duplicate, it will create a replica of that same object inside this, but all of them will be in the same region. That is the concept of same region replication. But when we say cross region replication, it means two different regions. Okay, so it means in this case, this is what we have. So this is going to be here. Okay, this is going to be here. So let's just put it here, and this is going to be here. Okay, so it's saying that anything you create in this region, it will replicate it in a different region. So if I upload anything now, let's say in this bucket inside this region, if I upload something else, let's say I upload something else extra, automatically it will also create a replica of that same thing. This same thing here, it will create a replica inside here. This is the concept of same region replication and cross-region replication. So let's practice this technically so that we can all get the idea. Okay, so just to be sure, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to click on create bucket. Create bucket. Now, when I click on create bucket, I'm going to call this bucket. So in this region, I'll click on this and I'll call it source. It can be any name, okay? But I just want you to understand. That's why I'm using source. So I'm going to say source bucket east 1. Okay, or let's say source bucket 2024. Okay, source bucket 2024. Okay, good. So I'll scroll down. Replication works with versioning. So even if you don't enable it, it will ask you to always enable it. So I'm going to click on enable. All right. Scroll down. Okay. Now, all you need to do is just to click on create bucket. So it's created this bucket for us. Now, this is the bucket I just created here. It's not difficult. Same approach we use in creating a bucket. So now, this is the bucket. Is it not true? So let's create, so following this, our analogy here, right? We've created a source. Let's create a destination. Okay. So in this, so we have to create another bucket somewhere. So I'll click on this and say create another bucket. So this bucket is going to be called what? Destination. Now, if you notice, I didn't change the region. So which means I'm doing it in the same region. Did you notice that? In the same region. So if I say destination, bucket 2024. So I'll scroll down, enable versioning, scroll down, and I click on create bucket. Okay. So 2020 okay, let's put extra 4 and see. Okay, good. So we have two buckets. Source, this is the source bucket, and then this is the destination bucket. You understand? Now, if you notice, both buckets are empty. If I click on this bucket does not have any objects inside. If you go into the destination, you notice that it doesn't have anything inside too. Now, where are we going to apply the replication rule? It's in the source. So we'll go to the source bucket, click on it. Friends, let's apply the rule first of all before we upload anything here. So if you watch here, there's different things, but just click on management. Okay, management. I'll click on this. Now, you see, there are different rules, lifecycle, replication, but this is where we are focusing on right now. Replication what? Rules. Okay. Now, did you see create replication rule? So either you choose this or you choose this. It's the same thing. So I'm going to click on create replication rule. It pops up now. All I need to do is just to give it a rule name. So I'll just call it replication rule. RR, which is replication rule, or let's call it rep rule. It doesn't matter, any name you want to call it. Okay, rep rule. Okay, so now status. What's the status of this replication rule? Is currently enabled. Do you want to disable it? Which means when it creates it, it should not activate it. No, please, let's enable it. Okay, so I'll scroll down. Did you see the concept of source bucket? Source bucket, which means source bucket is this one. Is it not true? Good. So for the source bucket, it's in which region? US East 1. Can you see? So it's asking you the scope. What is the scope of this rule? Do you want this rule to apply to everything inside the bucket, or do you want it to apply to a specific thing inside the bucket? So let's say inside that bucket, there's a specific folder. Okay, let me use this one for instance. So this is not the same bucket, right? It's not the same bucket, but assuming this file is inside a folder. Okay, let's say I click here, create folder, and I just give it test. Okay, so if I scroll down and I click on create folder, so did you notice it has created a folder? How do you know a folder? It has a slash, and you see the type is folder. So inside this folder, you can put files inside. I hope this is not confusing. So if you want to apply the replication rule to only a folder, all you need to do is to choose this first one that say limit the scope of this rule. So you come here and put the name of the folder and put a slash. Did you see that? So it will only apply the rule to that folder. So anything you put inside that folder right, will be replicated. I hope this makes sense to everybody. So the same way you put folder, it can also be a file name. If you create any file that goes with the name Abola.png or JPEG, it will replicate it. So I have to put Abola.png here. So this is just a filter type. But if you don't want it to happen to a specific folder, just choose this one. So it will apply it to everything inside that bucket. Everything inside the bucket. I hope this did not confuse you. So I'm just going to choose this one because I don't want to confuse. I'll choose this one right now. So this is for the source bucket. Now, what about the destination? Okay, so you can read it. It will tell you destination. You can replicate objects across buckets in different AWS region. So once it's in a different region, it's called what? Cross-region replication. If you cannot see it, this is what I'm talking about here. Let me increase it again, sir, and scroll down so you can see it. Okay, so this is what I'm referring to. Cross-region replication. Okay, so now, but if you watch here, choose a bucket in this account. Specify a bucket in another account. So that's another thing about destination. Please, I want you to understand. So it has cross region. It also have what? Same region. Now, you need to ask yourself, that bucket, is this bucket in the same AWS account? Demo DevOps, is it in the same account or is it in a different account? Okay, so the only way to confirm is to click on browse. So if the bucket is in a different account, you choose this, or you need to provide some policies and the rest. Okay, so that I don't confuse you, I'm going to choose this. Choose a bucket in this account. So I'll click on browse, and the one we want to choose is destination. Is it not true? You remember the name we created. So this is the name of where I want it to drop the replica. So I'll choose this one and click choose path. I hope this makes sense to everybody. So anything that is inside the source bucket, it should drop it where? Inside where? This destination in the same account in this name here. Can you see the destination region? Okay. All right. So since it's in the same region, it is what? Same region replication. Let's scroll down. Now, while I don't want to talk so much on this, but I want you to know that one service cannot talk to another service just like that. Okay, you cannot move something from one bucket to another bucket just like that. Sometimes you need to create policies, and I told you all about a role. A role is like a hat that somebody can wear and assume. Okay, you want to assume the role of somebody. If you refer to the previous videos we talked about, okay, you will know that somebody can take the position of the HR just to perform the HR's duty. Okay, that's what we call a role. So please, in this example, the only thing you should do here is just click on create new. Okay, so if you click on create new, it's going to create a new one. If you click on this and choose this, you won't for now you won't see anything here. I'm supposed before there used to be a create new, but right now please just choose create new. Okay, we want it to create a new role. Okay, that's all you should choose. Create new role. Okay, that's all. Don't worry, for now these are all advanced features. That's why this is just beginners. Okay, at this point please don't bother yourself about any other thing. Okay, I would have loved to explain many other things, but you can read it up. But for now, for this example, let's take it from the beginning again. This is the rule we are creating. We give the rule a name, we enable the status, scroll down, source bucket, you choose apply to all, scroll down, destination, choose a bucket in this account, you click on browse and select the bucket you have already created. If you can't see anything there, you need to go and create a bucket where you want it to replicate it. Okay, then you choose the name there. Then you choose what? Create a new role, and that is all. Then you come down and click what? Save. Now, when you do this, it's going to create a rule for you. Now, this is an important question it's asking you. Replicate existing objects. You know that I didn't put any objects inside those buckets, right? So it's telling you in case there was objects there, do you still want me to replicate them? If you say yes, replicate existing buckets, it will do that. But if you say no, do not replicate existing buckets, it will not. But I want you to understand that in real life, okay, if you want to say yes, replicate existing objects, it's going to cost you more money. That's why you can see C price in here so that you understand. Okay, so all I would just do is to leave everything the way it is and click what? Submit. So I'll click on this. So the rule has been created. Okay, let's reduce the font. So if you notice replication rule, this is something I just created right now. Okay, so I hope this is not confusing anybody. Okay, I just created a rule right now. This is the rule. So let's try it practically. So now we have created the rule. Okay, let's go back to the bucket. How do we go back to the bucket? This is the bucket. Click inside this bucket, right? That's why you see 0 inside there. All I need to do is to upload a file inside here. So this is the source. Let's open the destination so that we can be checking. Okay. Some reason this is lagging. Oh my God, I can imagine it's lagging for some of you too. I'm not saying anything yet, please, in case you're wondering. Okay, good. So I just want to open the destination bucket. Okay, this is the destination bucket. Okay, this particular one. I'll click on it. All right. There are 2 buckets we have right now. Destination bucket, source bucket. And you see, there is no object here. So let's create something inside this source bucket. So I'll click on upload. I'll click on add files. And let's say I choose employees and click on open. Scroll down. Now we've uploaded something. Let's close it. So this we created in the source bucket. You can see it here. Is that true? If you go to this destination bucket, click on reload. Okay, let's see for some reasons. Okay, so now it's not showing yet, but it's actually something is happening behind the scene. So you can always click on this depending on the speed. I think this is lagging. If you scroll down, you should be able to see more details about it. So this is the replication rule, replication status. When a replication rule is applied, okay, can you see it's telling you pending, which means it's still transferring it. Okay, so let's wait for some few seconds and see what happens. Let's wait for some few seconds. So we can always click here and click on reload again to see. Now, this is not supposed to waste time. It's supposed to show as fast as possible. So I don't, for some few reasons, maybe it's my network. I really apologize, friends. And then view replication rules. The rule is active. So this is the rule. So, okay. I think it's a network issue for me. It's supposed to be showing here. But first of all, do you all understand my explanation? this shouldn't give us any technical issue. Oh my God. I think everybody's having network issues. Okay. I really want to apologize, everybody. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's see. The network is not helpful today. Is it better now? So what do you guys suggest? Do you suggest we do we stop the session and maybe continue maybe tomorrow, or postpone it till Monday? So the thing is, I'm not sure if the recording is going to also lag. You understand? So that's my worry. So do you all suggest we schedule the class till tomorrow, or we take our Friday session for it? So anyway, so let's, I think we're going to just do that because the network is very, very poor and I can't really guarantee this. So yeah, I can actually continue, but my worry is I don't want a situation that when you watch the recording at a later time and it's messed up. Okay, what will happen is this: I will continue, and we will take a judge at the end of the session, and if the recording is not helpful, we can always reschedule the session. Okay, and it could be Friday instead of tomorrow. It can always be Friday. Okay, so I'm going to continue. So if you think it's bad for you, that's fine. You can actually drop. And if you watch the recording and it's not helpful, we will have either I recreate the video and share to you all, or I will reschedule another session. Okay. I hope this makes sense. All right. So please, if the network is not helpful for you, please try and watch the video at a later time. Other than that, please give us feedback at the end of the time. Okay. So my network is really lagging for some reason. Okay. So this is how that's the concept of what we call replication rule. Okay, that's how to create a replication rule. Once you go to management, you just create a replication rule. Okay, it's very, very simple. It doesn't require anything. Okay, so if you notice, same source, same source. This is the rule we created. Okay, it's not difficult. You click on replication rule and you put the rule name, you enable it, all right? And then you put the source and the destination and you create a new rule. That's all. That's all you need to create a replication rule. Okay, so please, I encourage you to practice this again and again. So let's see. For some reason, we still cannot get ours. Okay, you know what? Let me just create it again. If for any reason it's not for some reason it's not appearing here. Let's see. If I have to create another rule, let's say management, create replication rule, second rule, enabled, just scroll down, apply to all the buckets, destination. The name is destination. So let's see. You can always click here anyway and just choose destination. It's the bucket I need. Choose path. Okay, good. So I hope I enabled versioning for that bucket. Okay, so that's all. That's all you need to do. So, and you click save. But we already have what is it called? It's still the same thing. Okay, it's literally the same thing because it's still the same bucket. So as you can see, this is second rule. So this is priority if in which of them it should give priority. Okay, so replication rule just applies a rule for you to create a replica from one bucket to another bucket. Okay, the objects you store inside that bucket will replicate. Okay, that's the concept of replication. Let's be sure that this makes sense to everybody. For some reason, this is not, I think it's a network issue from my end. Okay, let's just continue. If for any reason, I'll just create another video and share to everybody. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the concept of what we call, so you can practice same region and you can also practice cross region, okay? Which means you have to create the bucket in a different region. Okay, let me just show you because so you can get it. So if I want to create another bucket, let's say I'll go to bucket, create another bucket. I'll come here and say cross, let's call it bucket two. I just want to call it bucket two CRR, cross region rule. Okay. I scroll down and I just enable versioning. Scroll down. That's all. Create bucket. Oh my God. I still did not change the region. So it's the same thing. I have to just create another one. So what I'm trying to do is cross region. So see what I will do now. So I'll click on create bucket. I have to just change this. So instead of using the same region, I'll choose another region. Okay. This is another region. So I'll choose another region right now. So watch what's going to happen. It's going to affect that change. US is 2. Okay. So that when I create a bucket, it's going to be in a different region. So let's see what happens. Okay. Let's see. This is lagging. This is not opening as fast as possible. Oh, for some reason, this is not helpful. So let's switch and see. Okay. Try and switch to another region. I guess it's a network issue. Friends, just bear with me. Okay. Trying to switch to another region. Wow. For some reason, this page is not loading. So hmm, let's see. I'm trying to create another bucket in a different region. So, but I guess the network is poor, so it's lagging. Okay, this network is not helpful. Okay. You know what? So friends, let's just I think we're going to stop the session for today. And so you all will expect a recording from me. Okay? So I will try to re-record this video and share it. And if for any reason that's if we I'll discuss with my team, and if we have to reschedule till maybe Thursday or Friday or next, so between Friday and next week, not Thursday. Okay, tomorrow might not be feasible. So especially I've seen some person saying tomorrow is not free. So either we are either going to take the mentorship session Friday, or we are going to shift the class till Monday, right? But or I'm going to re-record this myself and then share with you a recorded version. Okay, then take your questions at a later time. Okay, so I think we are going to stop here for today. Yeah. Thank you so much for your patience, and I really hope you all understood me. So please, if you have any question, you want to say something or you want to ask something, please do so, okay? Just so that I don't want to keep us waiting here while the network is frustrating. So you can raise your hands and I will answer your question. So Mr. Enoch, kindly unmute yourself and say something if you have a question.
Um, Good evening.
Yes, good evening,
Can you
sir.
hear me?
Yes, go ahead,
Yeah,
please.